Welcome again, dear friends, now to the Tuesday edition of Fresh Bread. Reverend Phil Anderson with you, pastor of Oakland United Methodist Church and Kansas Avenue United Methodist Church here in the capital city of good old T-Town, Topeka, Kansas. Well, here it is now, Tuesday, May 23rd, 2023. I'd like to give my brother Mark out in the Colorado Springs area a very happy birthday wish. He lives in Monument, Colorado, just up the road a little bit north of Colorado Springs. And so, Mark, if you're hearing this, I hope you have a great birthday today. Well, again, we are looking at the book of James. I would advise us all to really pay attention to James. It's a little gem of a book hidden back there toward the back of the New Testament. And I'll tell you something about James. It's a book that I think really tells it like it is. And we need to hear it. We need to hear it in its context. We need to not take it out of context, but we need to just listen to what it says. So much practicality. It's been called the Proverbs of the New Testament. You can see why. It's not written in poetic style, really, but it's certainly got the concepts of Proverbs. Just practical, pithy comments, just right on target. You know, this book was written by James, the brother of Jesus. And, you know, Jesus' brothers, they really didn't know what to make of him when they were younger, walking around in terms of the childhood that they all had together. And for some, it's not really clear that they really embraced Jesus as the Messiah until maybe after his death and resurrection. And remember in the book of Acts, we read that they were all together in the upper room, and that included Jesus' brother, his family members, and his mother Mary. So the brothers and his mother, they were all together. So amazing how people can turn around. You know, we oftentimes write people off, don't we? They're not interested in the Lord. Don't ever write anybody off. Don't ever quit trying. I can tell you that I'll never give up on anybody, I hope. I can honestly say right now there's nobody in my life that I would say, I'm done with that person. Now, there are some people I'm not going to spend a lot of time on because I don't believe that they have shown an interest, and I have to be careful with some other folks who I believe could be interested, but I kind of have to let them go at their own pace. And my job is to be faithful to Christ and to do what he tells me to do and be honorable to Jesus. Hopefully I'm living it myself. That's number one. Can't give it away if I'm not living it. It's hard for me to tell people about Jesus if I'm really not practicing my faith. So I just feel like every day is just that much closer to Jesus. I'm so thankful. And there have been people who have kind of come and gone into our midst and into our relationships. Even some relationships are very, very transient or transitory. They don't last long. Temporary. And so whether it's for a few minutes, a few days, a few weeks, a few months, or a few years, or maybe it's permanent, we don't know how relationships are going to play out. Interesting thing about a relationship is that there's no guarantees when you're in a relationship. You're in the chemistry lab now. When you're in a relationship, and you are mixing two personalities that on the surface, they may be in keeping with each other and get along real well. You've really made a beautiful thing come out of that chemical reaction, if you will. And then again, you may have two chemicals that just want to explode because they're just not going to be compatible. Now, I've seen that. But again, I just pray for the Holy Spirit's guidance and leading and his wisdom on what I should do. And that's what I go for. I don't make any secret about it. I just try to go with the Holy Spirit on everything I do. And whatever he leads me to do, that's what I do. So anyway, we have quite a legacy from our faith and what God has given us through his word. And again, we know one thing: the tongue is so vital. So many problems happen because people don't know how to keep their mouth shut, quite honestly. I have sometimes of that same issue. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that tomorrow, so make sure you come back for Wednesday's Fresh Bread. Until then, may God richly bless you is my prayer. Have a good rest of the day here on Tuesday.